Why is Formula One obsessed with street circuits? A purpose-built racetrack has been passed over for yet another street track. In case you didn't see in the news this week, Barcelona's Circuit de Catalunya has not had its contract renewed for 2026, and instead the race will move to Spain's capital city, Madrid, being hosted on a new hybrid street circuit. This is going to be held at the IFEMA Convention Centre. But this change to the future calendar has sparked controversy from Formula One fans who are unhappy with the sharp increase in street tracks in Formula One. Just 10 years ago, in 2014, there were only temporary street circuits at Monaco, Australia, Singapore and Canada. Although it's hard to see Australia and Canada as purely just street tracks because their layouts are not hemmed in by concrete walls. Fast forward to 2026 and there will be 9 non-permanent street circuits on the calendar. That is, of course, if Formula One can keep their bloated season of 24 races going. But that would be almost a third of the season on non-permanent street circuits. That's a large increase in just over a decade. And with more tracks contracts expiring in the near future, and the city street tracks being the only ones, excluding Qatar, which are being added to the calendar in recent years, it is causing concerns for Formula One fans that purpose-built racetracks, especially fan favourite ones, are slowly going to be phased out in favour of these street circuits. But why is Formula One so obsessed with adding these non-permanent tracks to the calendar over other more suitable and even fan favourite purpose-built racetracks? Well, there are a couple of reasons why. First off, let's look at the most likely candidate for Formula One picking street circuits over permanent facilities. That is, money. There are reports that Madrid are paying €48 million per season to host this event, and Formula One has always been about the money. This makes sense because it's in the ballpark of what other street tracks like Baku and Saudi Arabia are paying to host their races each season, and would be more than Barcelona would pay to host their race each season. This is likely a very large tick in the box for dumping Barcelona out of the calendar and adding the Madrid street track instead. Second is Formula One's goals to be more sustainable and eco-friendly. You see, permanent purpose-built circuits are normally built away from big city centres, meaning that fans and staff have little choice but to drive to the circuit. And they often have very bad parking arrangements and infrastructure around the track, which leads to traffic jams and many attendees getting stuck and frustrated, which is bad for Formula One and bad for the environment. But street tracks are normally in the heart of a city centre, like the new proposed Madrid street circuit, or Saudi Arabia, or Baku. They are accessible by the already established public transport options available to the masses and are normally ready to handle a surge of attendees and fans that are going to that event. This helps Formula One on its quest to be more environmentally sustainable and carbon neutral. Although if they really cared about this, they would stop flying around the world for one race just to fly all the way back for the next one and make the calendar more regionally grouped together. But really that's a video for another day. Now, I personally don't mind street tracks. In fact, I'm quite fond of a couple of the races we have. But the big problem I have is that they seem to be grouped together in one big lump. You seem to get 4 street tracks in a row at the beginning of the season and then another 4 in the middle of the season. I wouldn't mind so much if it was for that regional grouping, but it's not. They just seem to have their position in the season, and I bet that's to do with money as well. And I think for most Formula One fans, they would agree that we're getting to the saturation of street races. We don't want or really need any more, especially giving them large 10-year deals when they haven't had a single race yet to see whether the tracks are suitable, whether they produce good racing. It would seem that the only reason that they're given 10-year contracts is because they're willing to throw a lot of money at Formula One to host that event each year. So again, it all comes back to money. What is your opinion on the increasing number of street circuits in Formula One? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below.